Good afternoon to everyone around the world, in Ireland, in England, and in the US. My name is Carl. I'm from Pitch Points. I have with me a few friends of ours. Patrick, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing, man? Long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long week. And then we have Adam, who's also a City fan all the way from the UK. Adam, how are you, man?
I'm alright. How's everyone?
Well, Adam is actually, you live in Manchester, right? Adam, where do you live?
I live right next to the Tottenham Stadium,
He
sadly.
lives right next. He's a proper fan. He lives right next to the stadium. We live well. At least Patrick, you're close, not too far away. So you're a stone's throw from England, a fishbone throw. While I'm still, a hop all the way across the ocean from the United States. So Adam is a true fan. But let's want to make this a really quick. It's our lunchtime here in the US. I'm going to use my lunchtime to just highlight a couple of things today. There are five areas I want to talk about today. One is the review of the game, Everton. Right, we talk about some big games this weekend in the Premier League, notably United, Arsenal. I want to talk about Brendan Rodgers. I think it's all a myth, the myth of Brendan Rodgers. We may talk about Gerrard and Dean Smith. I know, Patrick, you want to talk about the EDS team and the women's team. What the hell is going on there? And then we'll do a preview of the Champions League, which is basically the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a few games. So like the Villarreal, United, FC Barcelona, and Benfica. And I'll talk about why I talk about that game. Juventus and Chelsea, Ajax with Ten Hag, City PSG, obviously. And then if we have time, we'll wrap it up with what I call player debate. There's some players that we've been bouncing around in our chat groups that we have an eye on. People like Holland and Vlahovic and João Felix and Darwin Nunez and Frankie de Jong and Calvin Phillips. So we'll look at those players. We're not going to look at Patson Daka.
Yeah, you always want to provoke me.
Anyway, but let's get started. Adam and Patrick. So the game on Sunday now, right? Everton versus. Going into that game, how are you guys feeling about that game? Were you confident when you saw the lineup? What made you happy? What made you concerned?
I was surprised when I saw the lineup to see some players, especially what's his name, Cole Palmer. I thought maybe it would be, he probably would go for like more of a senior player than Cole Palmer. So I was surprised to see him get a full debut in the lineup.
Yeah, Patrick.
Yeah, it was the same for me. I'm not going to sit here and start lying that I wasn't wondering that what's happening. Why is like, look, we have a game on Wednesday. I understand, but I was sitting there saying, okay, if I was Riyad Mahrez, I would be sitting on the bench saying, there's a kid from the academy starting ahead of me. It's regardless. It is what it is. Jesus is on the bench too. Let's not forget. So it's Jesus and Riyad Mahrez who can still be in, and we can still have some of them for the game. So unless you want to play Jesus and Riyad Mahrez in the game, I don't know. But I think that was what everybody's mind was. But look, at the end of the day, we're not in the training ground ourselves. None of us are watching these people during training. So if Pep has the faith to have Palmer as the one who's doing force 9, maybe that's what they're training him to do, because Pep is looking for his perfect force 9 for the past games. You can see it's been changing. It's been Raheem, it's been De Bruyne, it's been Bernardo Silva. Funny thing is, the guy who he says has got the best movement in the team, Gundogan, he's never thrown him there. But I think if Gundogan can play force 9, can be a very dangerous force 9 because of his movement. But look, that's what everybody was thinking, that why is Palmer there? But I'm pretty sure right now, let's stop asking that why is Palmer there and just believe that there's the reason why this kid is being promoted. Because don't forget, there are other kids who are before Palmer. Jed and Braff, remember? All these other names were there before Palmer, and yet Palmer is the one who has found himself in the team. So that was what I was nervous about. I was not nervous that we're going to lose. I was just worried that what's happening here? Why are the first teamers on the bench, regardless of the fact that there's a match, but there's Jesus and Mahrez on the bench. So that's all was my worry. But also, somehow, when I also saw, and this is just for me, the front of Everton, even though I mentioned them, you thought I was being afraid. No, I was just giving it props because it's full of speed, and I was like, wow, there's speed in this. And Gray, I think Gray going off injured, I don't like people getting injured, was actually good because Gray was gonna give trouble. Trust me, Gray gives you trouble regardless. I don't know why Leicester let him go and then bought a few players that I used to. So that was my thing, Carl. I was just saying, is it gonna be one of those days? Because I wasn't seeing any killers in that team. Foden was my killer, but I knew Foden wasn't 100%, and you could see in the Everton game he wasn't 100%. So that was my thought before the whistle was blown.
Yeah, absolutely. And welcome, Charlie, to the show. Charlie says here
Charlie.
that Gundogan played false nine last season. We went on the run of games. He scored a ton of goals. Yeah, he did. He can play that false nine really, really well. That's why I got my Twitter name Gondalorian from, because he was just bullying everybody playing that false nine. I mean, to be fair, when I saw, so I kind of predicted the lineup pretty well. My only question was whether Fernandinho was going to play for De Bruyne or somebody else was going to play for De Bruyne. And it so happens that Cole Palmer was a person who actually played in place of De Bruyne. So if De Bruyne was playing that game, De Bruyne would probably have played that false nine, or Cole Palmer played that false nine instead of De Bruyne. What I was very happy about, Adam and Patrick, was the fact that we actually played natural wingers. Yeah. Right? We played Sterling. I mean,
you have an obsession for that, don't you?
I hate inverted. The only reason why I like the only two teams where I like inverted wingers, that's Pep's FC Barcelona with Messi on the right, and Liverpool's Mane and Salah. I think when you have those two inverted wingers, they create problems because they are good. Yeah. I think for us, we're better when we have natural wingers in nice and wide, because our midfield is more about control than it is about tucking in. I talked about in our chat that the reason why Sterling missed that goal one-on-one, the one that he missed with the goalkeeper, that who passed the ball to him, Walker passed the ball to him. The reason he missed that one-on-one with the keeper was because he was playing on the left-hand side.
Have you noticed this now? That's what you've touched on is something I have also noticed. I think I've only noticed this recently, but we used to say it, but now I've noticed it. If you look at most of his misses or at most of his goals when he was on fire, notice that when you're looking at his clips. Yeah. Adam, have you seen the clips they put on Twitter, the ones that they put on the clip together? Every time when he looks like he's confident and he's scoring, like taking the ball over the keeper or bending it, it's always from the right-hand side. From the left, you won't see any clips of Raheem from the left. The only nice one that is out there is the Southampton one, where you could even see it was a hoof and the keeper was caught off guard. That's the Southampton one. But at the right-hand side, he looks more confident. He looks like he can put the ball wherever he wants. Left, it's like Leon. He can't. It seems like he can't. He doesn't have the mind, I think, to think fast and which foot to give. He always seems to be confused. So you're right about that.
Very quickly, Carl, welcome. If you want to join us, Carl, let us know. I'll send you a link to join the stream. This is our Everton fan. He's also a fan of the show as well, Patrick. So, Carl, if you want to join us, I'll send you the link. Let us know online if you want to join us. But yeah, I mean, Sterling, again, for me, Sterling, I prefer him on the right. When I saw Sterling on the right and Foden on the left, I felt confident because I felt that we were going to pull Everton's back five wide and we're going to create those chances. Yeah. And it made me very, very happy. In fact, I would say Cole Palmer, whenever he dropped into the midfield, he was magnificent. Up front, when that false nine, he struggled a little bit to press. When he dropped behind and he was connecting those balls, it was. In fact, the goal that Sterling missed was because Palmer dropped into the hole, passed the ball through the lines, Walker overlapped and crossed the ball to Sterling, and then he missed the shot.
Walker was disappointed because I think Walker is like, I also want assists. I also want to be able to get assists. So he was disappointed. Yeah, look, it looks like this is why I feel bad for him sometimes, because he seems to be the one Pep likes to throw at the left, but naturally, I think the right-hand side he's better. You get what I mean?
I agree with you.
Hopefully, yeah. So. Any thoughts on the game overall, though? On the game,
yeah. I mean, Carl. I thought that Carl's an Everton fan. I thought that I was surprised with Everton's approach, man. It just ate behind the ball. They were literally camped in their defensive third for probably most of the game. I mean, I think the possession stats were 70%, 70-20 or 70-30 or something like that. it really surprised me that Benitez would set Everton up like that. Maybe because they had injuries. Carl, maybe you can talk to this some more, but I was really, really surprised in kind of what happened. Carl says too easy for us last night. Yeah, it was surprising to me that we had so much joy. Adam, what did you think about the game overall?
I thought it was good. We played some football in that game, especially with James McAtee. For some reason, the way he reminds me a bit of David Silva when you watch him play. It's like he's got the similar attributes to him when you see him, his movement and his style of play.
He's absolutely magnificent. I've watched a lot of academy games, and watching him play, the kid is really, really good. I mean,
he looks ready, doesn't he? Like, how can I say this? How can we, I don't know. People obviously say, "Well, how do you know the story about that?" Somebody was calling me while I'm using my phone, so that's why it was ringing. That's why I had to tell them. I just had to write them a message that, look, I'll call you later. I don't know. Look, McAtee has been playing as I think the first 9 for the academy since Delap has been injured. Obviously, he's the highest goal scorer right now. I think I don't know if I'm gonna notice within the period he came. I think he's got better movement than Palmer at the first 9. Did you see that? He seems to be. Yeah, when he came in, he was more dangerous. He was more like scary to get into the box. Unfortunately, it looks like we haven't still agreed on the contract, which is heartbreaking because it looks like he's a talent. But I was looking at him, I was like, oh, this kid can actually make a very dangerous false 9 because I think he can beat a man in the box, and even the half chance he had. Like the one he showed at people to save, that was a half chance, It's very,
what I'd like to say as well? I'd like to add something. Some of these youngsters, I feel like under a Ten Hag, they will thrive under that manager, a Ten Hag. What the system he likes to do is play like a mixture of senior players and a mixture of youth players. And I feel like with players like a James McAtee, and Cole Palmer, you see them thrive much more than in a system with a Ten Hag. So that's why I feel like he'll be the perfect replacement after Pep.
Well, that's why tomorrow's game, I think I would love, if you're available, I don't know what your schedule is like, I'd love us to watch that game, Ajax game again together, watch kind of what they play, so we can actually look at and see what Ten Hag does. I've watched them for the past couple of years in Ajax, when they went to the semi-final of the Champions League and when they beat Real Madrid, they beat Juventus, they beat all kinds of teams. I think maybe tomorrow we can watch that game and really look at what he's doing and see what we can learn. They battered Dortmund with Haaland. I mean, they completely ripped them apart, 4-0. It was not even close. So anyway, so Patrick, any other thing about the game yesterday that you saw? I mean, what about João Cancelo, man?
For me, to be honest with you, I've been telling a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you've seen me on Twitter. I've said it so many times. Cancelo is one of Cancelo right now is the best fullback, and I know a lot of Liverpool fans are still stuck with Trent and trying to levitate him. But even the defending, somebody was arguing with the defending. His defense, nobody goes. If you watch the games, not a lot of people pat him at that side, Yes, few mistakes, but every fullback makes those mistakes. We can't be comparing him to Walker because Walker is the best defending right back right now, even though people try to downplay his ability and speed, But Cancelo, how many people actually go past him? Watch most of the games. He knows how to tackle the ball. He doesn't tackle the man. He tackles the ball. Yes, few guys. So far, you can even pick it up. It's only the Salah moment when he went over him, and about 2 players I can say that went over him. So people keep saying, "Oh, he's not complete." For me, right now, he's one of the most complete.
Who is complete in the Premier League?
Nobody. That's what they keep saying.
Exactly.
They keep saying. That's what makes me laugh. They're like, "Oh, well, this one is not complete." Oh,
who is complete? Is Chilwell complete? Is Chilwell complete? Is
What?
Robertson?
But you know, the one person that I don't understand how people say that he's better than Cancelo is that makes my blood boil. Is that Reece James guy?
Oh, jeez, I can't even believe
My
that.
God,
People
it's like me it's like me comparing a Fiat, yeah, to a Rolls Royce. Like what
I mean,
Ibrahimovic said.
I
You
mean,
can't compare a Ferrari to a Fiat.
I mean, James is a decent player. He's a decent for Chelsea side. He's a decent player, but Joao Cancelo Joao Cancelo has played for Juventus. He's played in Spain. He's come to City. He does things that Reece James can't even think about. The stuff he does on the ball is otherworldly.
If you say wing back, if you say wing back position, then yeah, you could say Reece James better as a right wing back, but as a full back in a back four, Reece James is no way close to Cancelo or even Trent. They are miles ahead of him.
If you look at that pass yesterday, right? I mean, this guy gets the ball probably 35 yards out, right? And he has to use the outside of his right foot. He has to swing the ball between defenders at the right speed, at the right height.
We actually robbed Juventus. That was
for Sterling to hit that ball one time. I mean that pass. If Kevin De Bruyne did that pass, we'll be like, whoa, you know. That guy does things.
He doesn't get enough credit. That's the truth.
That's what I keep wondering. Like, people don't get it. Like, nobody. Okay, tell us right now, people who hype that this James is better. Would this James do that pass? Do you see him capable of doing that? But the thing is this: it's every time a player is playing in another team, they're top class, they're world class, they're good. Same as Walker. Walker, before he came to City, people were saying he's the best right back for England, is the best right back in the Premier League. That time, I remember the best left back was Danny Rose, and in fair, it was Danny Rose. Let's not lie.
Walker and Rose were magnificent.
Yeah, those guys were fun. But
I love it to watch.
As soon as you just take yourself and you go to City, you wear the City colors, it comes down. Cancelo, oh my God, Cancelo is amazing. There's a guy Cancelo at Juventus is amazing. He comes to City, it's okay. He's okay.
Patrick, I don't even mind rival fans, saying that, because they have to say that. That's what they do, right? What annoys me is when our own fans, and they know themselves, who slag this guy off and called him a waste of money because we paid money for him for Danilo, who said he was terrible, he can't defend, he can't attack, he's useless. I remember these people. I remember them.
No, they were saying he had to leave. They wanted him to leave. Yeah. So look, that pass was amazing, and look, that's the thing what Cancelo is bringing to the team. I don't know if people have noticed this. When De Bruyne is not in the team, sometimes in the past, creativity used to go down. Nobody could put that amazing pass. Like De Bruyne is famous for when a team is making it difficult for us. He used to have these passes like that to just surprise them. Wake them up and open them up.
Yeah.
What he did was important because you need players like him who can pass like that to open up a stubborn team like Everton, who had 20 men in the box. It was all packed. So that was an amazing pass.
I'll wrap up that piece, but the key thing about that pass was where it started from. It didn't start from left back. That pass started from the number 8 position. So here's a left back who can play number 10, number 8, and number 3, and number 2. He's a complete footballer. He can play left back, wing back. He can play central midfield, number 10, number 8. He can play. I'm sure he can even play a false 9. They have to play as that.
No, he can. He can.
So I thought it was a robust performance. Then what about our guy Rodri? What about that performance today?
That was amazing.
That number 6 position. Here's what I've heard about it: that you never want to be a number 6 if you can't play what they call 7 over 10 every single game. Don't be a 9 over 10 or 10 over 10 one game, and the next game you're 5 over 10. You're rubbish. You're no use to anybody. As a number 6, as a defensive midfielder, you want to be 7 over 10, 7 over 10, 7 over 10 as the baseline all the way through. Consistent. Pass the ball, give the ball. Pass the ball, give the ball. Distribute the ball. And then look at that shot, man, Adam and Patrick. What do you have to say about that shot?
But
Adam.
Is Adam still with us? Oh, he's gone.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying that goal was brilliant. I was just so surprised. I thought maybe he would try pass it, and then rather than shooting, and then I saw when he shot and he went in. That's it reminds me a bit of Cancelo when he just tends to just take one and just shoot.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
shot, I mean, the keeper, Patrick, the keeper was shaking his head afterwards. He had no chance.
It was a surprise, like Pickford. Do you know the thing about Man City? This is why sometimes our team needs to shoot. Sometimes, do you know why the Vincent company went in? The Walker one. Remember the Walker versus Newcastle?
Mm-hmm.
People should understand this. People, even the keepers. This is what they say to themselves when they're playing against City. They're not going to shoot from far. They will pass. So that's why even the Fernandinho one. Remember against United. That's why every time our player shoots, and it's on target, it goes in. You know why? And you notice the keepers are surprised because our team never shoots. Let's be honest. They never always attempt to shoot. Every time our players shoot and they shoot on target, it's a goal. Because the keepers from other teams, I think they use that. This system is pass. So they're always expecting pass. And when somebody just says no, shoot, it's a goal. Same as the company one. Same as the Foden one, those our players. I think sometimes need to surprise people. Let them go in their box. That I can shoot like Maris or somebody. Let them relax. Trust me, we can be scoring goals like that. And I like what he did. He didn't waste time. He didn't take a touch. He just hit it straight. And Pickford, I'm pretty sure that diving was just for show for the cameras because you're definitely in code of God. Yeah.
This is what Charlie says about what's his name? All those English left fullbacks, James, and what's the other game? The other guy's name. Yeah, they get more hype because they're English. That's a fact.
It's true.
That's actually a fact. I mean, Kieran Trippier is doing a fantastic job at Atletico Madrid. You don't hear him all the noise because he's tucked away somewhere in Guinea. Even this guy Tomori in Milan is doing a great job at Milan. I mean, they're second in the league or joint top of the league. You don't hear them because the spotlight's not on them. So yeah, is that absolutely right? Okay, so good game, 3-0, 3 points, taking us second. Did I lose you? Okay, you're back now. Okay, yeah, 3 points, 3-0.
What happened?
I'm not sure you went. Good game for us. Was I apprehensive? Not really. Once I saw that we didn't have inverted wingers, I was like, okay, good. We have a chance. Once you go to that inverted winger against a back five, we struggle. But good game. Let's talk about the other games this weekend. United, man. I mean, Adam, Patrick, mean.
That was funny. Well, you wanna go first, Adam?
Adam, go ahead.
Is Adam still with us?
So, yeah, I'm still with you.
Yeah, Watford versus United. What did you think?
I was shocked.
I thought maybe Man United will probably end up winning, or the players will end up saving Ole's job.
I was shocked.
I was surprised watching that.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I just could not believe it.
Funny enough, I saw this stat. I think in 7 games, Bruno Fernandes hasn't even created a chance for a goal on target or something like that.
Adam, I said this in September, and everybody was laughing at me. I said that Cristiano Ronaldo will be the final nail
in the coffin
of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I said this in September. I said this guy will be the final nail in the coffin of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because they will have no excuse, and he's going to change the way they play. Completely change the way they play. The way they played last year, where they went unbeaten away for 25, 26 games or something like that, was because they were counter-attacking teams, left, right, and center, and they were winning based on that with speed, power, and pace. The guy is 36 years old. They cannot play with that same intensity again with him in the side. It changes the way they play, and they have had a preseason to embed that in. He came in at the last point of the window. So what do they expect to happen? I said it in September, and alas, here we are. Just like I said, Frank
But
Lampard was last Christmas.
I saw this rumor that what's his name, Zidane turned him down. But Zidane, I feel like Zidane's more interested in what was it, the French national job, than taking the United job. And
It was surprising.
most, and I feel like the two managers that Man United will probably look at the top of their list are Pochettino and Brendan Rodgers. And I still cannot believe how some City fans think Brendan Rodgers will be a good replacement. I would rather have Manuel Pellegrini than Brendan Rodgers or even Mark Hughes.
I agree with you, Adam. I've said it from day one. Brendan Rodgers is a perennial bottler.
Yeah.
Perennial bottler. And I don't want him anywhere near the Etihad Stadium. Nowhere near.
Yeah, I think it's just rumors by the media. I think they just want to push him towards Man City. I don't think Man City are interested in him.
Funny enough, there's never been an English manager that has won a Premier League trophy. There's never been that. If you look at the stats, I think there's never been an English manager that has won a Premier League. It's either been won by a Scottish person or a different person, a foreigner.
That's a fact.
And that's what I feel like. That's where they're trying to push the agenda with that bloody useless Brendan Rodgers. I'm being serious.
Let's talk about Brendan Rodgers. I have a topic here. It said the myth of Brendan Rodgers. I think it's a complete myth. This myth around Rodgers is just. He went to Rangers. He went to Scotland, won a title there. That's like the same noise they're making about, Gerrard. That somehow because he won at Rangers, somehow he has the experience to win in England. I'm like, okay, so what's Villa's expectation to make Europe? How? Right? I don't think. Anyway, that's a whole separate discussion. But Arsenal back to square one. Patrick, back to ground.
Yeah, I know you're happy now. I know you're happy now that it happens. I know, but you know what?
Remember my tweet about Arsenal?
Yeah, that they're gonna get exposed if they play after teams. Look, there was a voice inside me saying, yeah, they're going to get exposed, but for me, when I've been saying it, that Arsenal might beat Liverpool, it's not out of confidence, it's out of hate. Just I don't like Liverpool, so there's always a voice in the back of your head saying let's hope. But I think it's obvious. I think now they have seen what their level is. I think now they understand that yes, we've been winning, but we were not winning against top class teams. But what I'm thinking of Arsenal right now, and so you might laugh, Carl, with this. They actually look like they're the best of the bunch, the bad bunch. I don't know if that makes sense. They look like the best of the bad bunch, regardless that Liverpool exposed them like that. I don't think there's a lot of teams in the Premier League that will be able to expose them as much as Liverpool. I think it might either be a draw, or they might actually sneak a win, because I feel some of the teams are at the level with Arsenal. I think some of the teams that let's talk about like United, unless they get a big manager in, maybe. But for now, I think even Arsenal can give them a bit of trouble. They can either get out a draw or narrow win. But I feel like if I was Arsenal right now, regardless that Liverpool have beaten us, I think just look to get better and start fighting for that top four, like just the number 4. I think they can make it. That's just for me. I think they can make it. I don't know if I'm just making a mistake, but I'm also thinking.
No. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Let me ask you a question. If West Ham comes against Arsenal, there seems to be a balance.
Arsenal win for me.
I'm gonna say something crazy. It may sound crazy, but I feel like Arsenal could do something against Chelsea. It seems that Arteta has something, when it comes to Chelsea. He knows how to set up, and I feel like he could possibly end up getting a result against the Chelsea side.
Charlie here says some Arsenal fans are overreacting for the Liverpool game, and Liverpool miles above. Yeah, they're right now. They're playing at Anfield, so it's never easy to go to Anfield and play.
The last time Arsenal won at Anfield was, I think, 2004. So I don't know why Arsenal fans need to stay calm at the end of the day. They're not doing that bad. I think before this game I think Ramsdale had eight games clean sheet or something like that, or 4.
Yeah. It's always going to be tough. I mean, they should take heart in the fact that they're still fifth. I believe they're fifth right now, only 3 points behind the fourth spot. Top four is if they play consistently, top four maybe theirs to take. So yeah, I mean, Liverpool do what Liverpool do at home against some teams, and they were well worth the 3 points and the 4 goals. So, Patrick, talk about the EDS and the women's team. What the hell is going on, man?
I'm actually going to start off with the women's team before I go to the EDS.
Yeah.
I know the reason we won 5-0, but who cares? Look, it's bad. I don't understand. Like, okay, are we concentrating on something maybe, and that's giving a blind eye to the women's team? Because it's embarrassing. It's become embarrassing. And the funny thing is this. Okay, let me put them together. The EDS and the women's team. This is what keeps happening for the people who are watching right now. I know some of you guys some people are never interested in EDS or women's team, but some of us we are, because we feel like it is the whole family thing, and women's football is getting somewhere. We have to support women's football, and we have to support the youth, because these are the same players that might actually help us with injuries or help us in the future to save money. So both of the teams have got issues, Carl. It's very similar. They seem to score first, especially the EDS. The EDS will be winning 3-0, which was embarrassing against what's the team we're playing again? It wasn't against PSG. It was against Club Brugge. Is it Club Brugge or Brugge? And we're winning 3-0 or something. And the other team came back.
Yeah,
came back within the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, 4.
Drew with us, then beat us 5-3. Can you imagine? And that's the same thing that's happening in the women's team. They're winning 1-0 and then they get beaten like 4-1. And for the women's team, they say there's injuries. I get it, but come on, we are Man City. Man City women's team is up there. Right now, we're average. Like, we're below average. We're playing bad. Defense is bad. EDS defense is bad. And whoever is coaching the EDS and the women's team, I don't understand. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if the Man City board is looking elsewhere at like that, or like their minds are elsewhere. Isn't it about the quality? Remember, every time our chairman speaks, he says the quality from the men's football team, kids football team, even the 13-year-olds, the 10-year-olds has to be the same. So where are you, Mr. Chairman? Look at what's happening to the women's team and the EDS. It's embarrassing. Carl, I'm pretty sure you're about to comment about that Brugge game where we were embarrassed.
Yeah, so the women's team changed the manager. So last year, they changed. So last year, he was there last year. So last year, City women were the only club in the whole world to beat Barcelona, the champions of the world, women's team. Barcelona team are so good that I think they scored like 160 goals or something ridiculous. They won every single game they played. They battered Chelsea in the final within the first 20 minutes. They were 3 goals up. It wasn't even a contest, right? We're the only team to beat them 2-1. And from going from that height to going to, we lost in the semi-final to them, right? And Barcelona got to the final. From going to that point to going to a point where you're getting losing to your rivals at home, 4-0 one week, 5-0 the other week, for what? And guy comes out and he says, we make some silly comment. This is what maybe it's English managers, maybe it's me, maybe it's Yeah, I know they have a lot of injuries, but still, I mean, come on, man, we're almost in what 12th or 13th or 14th. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but I don't want to be dwell on that fact too much, Patrick.
No, but they have to. Like, look. This is what I keep saying, Carl. Like, the thing that's pissing me off is there's nothing. We haven't heard anything. No, the media always writes even about the women's team, who's leaving, the EPS, who's taking over. They seem like they've just said, just continue, continue. We'll look at it later, which I think is unfair because the women's team is getting embarrassed. It's embarrassing. Like we got embarrassed by Chelsea. That's the team that we compete with. I know they're a good team, but we don't get embarrassed by them that much. But this time they whooped us badly. And it's just bad. I was watching the game there recently. I don't know if we were playing West Ham or something. The team was just passing the ball around with no intent. Do you remember that time when Man City men's team was passing the ball around?
Yeah.
The time we lost the title to Liverpool, they were passing the ball around with no intent and no ambition,
Yeah.
and not creating at all, just passing it. And the other teams used to just wait for us. Say,
You're
okay,
right.
go
You're
ahead.
right. You're right. Because I
Yeah,
remember
so
the first goal we conceded. I watched that game, and I remember the player had the ball on the right hand side. Right, she could have progressed forward. But she chose to go backwards towards the goalkeeper. The Chelsea player pressed her, won the ball, and scored the goal. I'm like, why are you going backwards? When it's 1v1, you have space in front of you. Progress the ball forward. Don't pass for passing's sake. Pass with a purpose. Pass for penetration. Right?
with intention, yeah, you have to pass with intention, and then
you possess to penetrate. You possess to create. You possess to penetrate. You don't possess for possession's sake. That's we don't do that.
yeah,
So-
then we also take it to the we also take it to the EDS team. Same thing. Now the EDS team is funny because it's full of talent. This is what I can say. Our EDS team is such full of talent. They'll score, but the issue is they even score so many goals, but their defense is poor. So these are the same two defenders who have been training with the first team. These are the same defenders that people were raving about months ago. It's about coaching. This has to do with coaching. This has to do with the coach for the EDS team telling those kids that when you score 3 goals, don't continue opening up, close up. You don't need to start playing flair football. Or like the funny thing is, if you watch the EDS team, they're winning like 2-0. They're still playing this flair football, like trying to dribble. No, do like what the senior team does. They start passing the ball around, making sure you kill the other team in their mind, telling them that you're not going to touch the ball. As Pep says, you put the ball in the fridge. But our AGS is not doing that. They're still going on full attack, full blast. Oh, the line is high. Do you get what I mean? The line is high. And then we're getting countered, and then teams are able to hit back. So I think the coach has to go. I'm sorry, but he has to go. I think he's struggling. And the women's
The
team...
only thing I would say is that, the reality is that right now a lot of the youth players are getting opportunities in the first team. So maybe that's also turning their heads too, right? How can I get a place in the first team? Palmer's coming in, Marketing's coming in, Delap has been there before. Maybe that's also turning their head. Mbete has been there before. Wilson Esben has been there before. Lavia has gone to the first team. So they've all played in the first team. So that can, it can change the way you behave and your motivation as well. Like, why am I playing here when I should be playing with Foden and all those other players? So maybe that's the reason, but I guess we'll find out very, very soon. So anyway, thanks for that quick update on the ADS and women's team. Let's quickly do a preview of the games tomorrow and on Wednesday. UCL game, Villarreal versus United is going to be a massive game because right now the table, I think Villarreal are on top, or right now United are second.
No, United, I think, are top. I was looking at it.
Points, right?
Yeah, I think United are top. Wait, give me a minute.
I think it's head-to-head. I think on the head-to-head, United are probably top because they beat Villarreal 2-1 or so at home. I think that's the issue. I think it's a head-to-head, but I think both have 7 points. I believe they both have 7 points. I'll check it now. That's tomorrow, Tuesday, Europe. Let's see. United standings. Let's see. Yeah, 7 points. Villarreal 1, United 2. 7 points, 7 points. And Atalanta has 5 points, and then Young Boys have 3 points. So Young Boys right now are probably out of it because they have 3 points. Even if they win the next 2 games, actually they're not out of it too. They still have a chance to win as well. So the game tomorrow is massive. Whoever wins, United have to win that game or draw. You have to draw that game to be on top because it's head to head, not goal difference. And then Atalanta.
Wait. So you're saying that they have the same points?
Yeah, same points. 7 points, 7 points.
Who's behind them? How many points is the team behind them?
Villarreal 1, 7 points. United 2, 7 points. Atlanta 3, 5 points. So an Atlanta play Young Boys, Villarreal play Man United. So let's say Villarreal win their game, they get 10 points. If Atalanta beats Young Boys, they get 8 points. Then it's a final game between United versus Young Boys. which means that United have to win.
Game tomorrow.
It's all up in the air right now.
Yeah.
When is the game? When is this game?
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow at it's an early game for you guys. It's going to be like 7:45. For us, it's going to be 12:45.
I just wanted to say for the United fans, I feel like you guys have made a mistake. You should have given Oli more time. I think he was building something. just that you didn't see it right now. But I'm telling you, it takes time to build these things. And Oli was building something. You were gonna get a Oli bounce very soon, but it's too early. You've fired him. You're not gonna get another elite manager like Oli now. Look, it's Carrick. You know that it's gonna be Carrick and Fletcher who are taking over now. Look at that.
To be honest with you, it would not surprise me if Man United's owners end up giving the job permanently to Michael Carrick, the same way that they did with Ole.
What do you think about them giving and firing Oli without a plan? It looks like they have no plan, and then giving it to Carrick, and they think he's going to be able to.
They have no choice.
You see, it would not surprise me if they end up giving it to Michael Carrick.
Well, this is what I call the law of unintended consequences, right? Think that you didn't think through properly, end up biting you in the behind. They didn't think about, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should never manage Manchester United. There was no way on the earth where he should have been managed Manchester United.
Wasn't he supposed to be the substitute for a while? And then
like that's what I said to you. He was the interim manager for a few games until the end of the season, and then they ended up giving him the job permanently. And that's what I'm saying. If Michael Carrick ends up doing well, that's where some Man United fans feel that if Michael Carrick does well, the United fans, the owners are incompetent. They'll most likely end up giving the job to him permanently.
I said this recently that the problem with Man United. Here's the problem with Man United. Man United were trying to resurrect the Ferguson years using Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They wanted to resurrect that United dominance, United feeling, United DNA. The problem, Patrick and Adam, is the fact that the United of old, in my opinion, won't smell the title in this day and age. They won't smell it. With the competition that's there right now with Guardiola, with Klopp, the way they play, with Tuchel, the way they play, that United team under Ferguson will probably become fourth or fifth at best.
And you know what the problem is?
The game that has been played right now is quicker, it's faster, it's more aggressive, it's more innovative. Every time that Guardiola went against Ferguson, the twice in Champions League final, two Champions League finals, what happened? Battered. Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, the 2011 Champions League final, he was so battered, his hand was shaking on the sideline. So the whole English media hype around, I get it. Okay,
are you talking the video where they show his hand like that?
Yeah, he was shaking his hand. In fact, there's a comment that said that he didn't know what to do. That they were squarely beaten by the better side. Watch that game. It was a master class of football, right? So they're trying to bring that old way back, but that old way back is not, in my opinion, enough to win in this new modern game. What they have to do is reinvent themselves again.
Yeah,
right. Get the
best. What Liverpool did.
Yeah, like what Liverpool did. Reinvent yourself. Become more modern. Change the way you play. Create a new identity. Right. Get the right manager in, and then challenge. Don't try to go back to the Ferguson years. I say we want to put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. We want to put Carrick in to bring back the whole United DNA nonsense stuff. Well, I mean, Solskjaer was there for 3 years. The DNA, quote unquote, is back. What did he win? 0. Mourinho was there for what? 18 months. What did he win? 3 trophies: Europa League, FA Cup, and Europa League, League Cup, and then Community Shield. 3 trophies in 18 months. Even Louis van Gaal won the FA Cup. They fired him the day after. But they give Solskjaer 3 years because why? He's a Man United legend because he scored a goal in the dying moments in a Champions League final in Barcelona against Bayern Munich, coming off the bench. So one moment of that is allowed. They allowed him to play to be a coach for 3 years. Who are these people?
And you know what it is with United? The people that they've got in charge at the board, they're incompetent. The person that they're replacing Ed Woodward with is also from JP Morgan, and Ed Woodward was also from JP Morgan. You've got people whom for a living that they used to work in banking. So all they know is business. They've got nothing about football sense. So how
So
did
what
they
they-
expect?
yeah.
So how the hell did they expect the outcome to be if you've got someone that only knows about business, nothing about football at all?
Hmm.
And you've got people, they put in people in charge like the previous players, Mike Phelan or whatever the hell, Darren Fletcher in charge of directors of football.
Well, I hope Michael Carrick has a bounce next weekend against Chelsea. That should be interesting. See what
Hopefully.
happens. Maybe he
That's
gets
the
that.
one team I feel like Man United could possibly somehow get a result. And only way I say that is it will be the players that will end up getting the result.
Well, you mean Patrick? You know my thoughts around Chelsea. I'm not going to belabor them here against their peers. So you know my thoughts around them and their peers. And
you know, Carl, please tell me your thoughts today, because me and Adam are in the same team, by the way. Me and Adam are in the same page. So you tell us today, convince us why me and Adam mustn't.
I think they're a fantastic side. They're a great side. I think they're a great side. They're a great one-off game side against the big teams. But I think that over the run of 38 games against their peers, Liverpool, City, maybe United. We'll find out against United against this weekend. We'll see if United.
Wait. The United. This is Chelsea this weekend.
Yeah. Sunday, right?
That'll be interesting. Now there is
against their peers, United, Liverpool, and City. They've fallen short. 1 point out of 6. 1 point out of 6. Right? For me, if you're going to win the league, you have to be able to beat your peers, because everybody is going to beat all these other small teams. You may drop a point here, drop a point there, but City and Liverpool will beat the lower teams in general. The challenge is going to be that for the past 10 or so years, the person who has won the race for the top 6, the data is clear, not me saying it. Go check the data, check the facts. Has been the one that's won the Premier League.
But that's where I'll also tell you that this, with all due respect, you say that the data is clear, but this is football. We cannot rely football. Does football always depend on information?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. 100%. 100%. It does. I mean, in this instance, it's clear in the modern Premier League, in the past 10 years or so, the team that has beaten their peers, that wins the race for the top 4, top 6, is the one that goes to win the Premier League. It's not even a question.
Okay.
It's 100% certainty.
Can I ask something, though, Carl? Can I ask something? Adam maybe also wants to say something, but let me ask something. So what if Chelsea, let's say, no, obviously it's not going to happen, but what if a team batters all the ones outside top 4 and draws against the rivals?
It depends on what the other team does. If the other team does the same thing as well and beats them, then they win.
It depends.
Right?
If the other rivals are dropping points, then yeah.
Exactly. The problem is the fact that the 3 teams, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, generally will beat their lower teams. Generally, look at Everton, right? Battered 3-0. Look at Arsenal and Liverpool, battered 4-0. Chelsea and Leicester, battered 3-0, right? So in general, those teams will beat their lower leagues. They will beat those guys. They'll find a way to beat them over 38 games, right? So it comes down to what happens when the rivals play each other. What does those numbers look like? And right now, between the 3 teams, Liverpool have 2 points out of 6. City have 4 out of 6 points, and then Chelsea have 1 point out of 6 points. And
I still believe, even though you're denying it, I still believe without that red card, I don't think Liverpool were gonna win that game, that Liverpool-Chelsea game. Because I was watching it, I was off that day.
I actually watched it, and I actually watched it again. I disagree with you. I actually watched it again. I thought that Liverpool were clearly in my opinion, were clearly on top. And it only takes. And after the red card, what happened? What did Chelsea do?
They passed the bus.
They packed the bus, right? So now it becomes even ultra hard for Liverpool to break them down because they parked the bus. They put 10 people behind the ball or 9 people behind the ball. So it changed the dynamic of the game. If the game kept on flowing and it was more open, in general, Liverpool wins those kind of games. So, but again, these are all my own opinion. I'm not saying they're not a great team. I'm saying they're a great team, but I'm just looking for the games, head-to-head games, the games that are played amongst your peers. How do you play? How do you come out? When we played them at Stamford Bridge, it wasn't a contest. It was a battering.
I know it was difficult for them. It was very, very difficult for them. But
that's 1 point out of 6. Now they're going to play United next weekend.
Do you know? Yeah, that's what's pissing me off, Carl. As I told you, that it's the thing about Chelsea is I don't doubt ourselves. Maybe I don't doubt Liverpool in the next game. Even though I doubted Liverpool didn't impress me in the other game, but I'm saying it's the rivals we have. It's these guys close to us that I'm doubting. You know, if they will do the job, I think Man City will go and do the job. But it's about these other guys. You know, I know that we have to worry about ourselves, but you say if you have to be the rivals, that's the thing. Some of these guys, will they manage to break them? Apart from Liverpool and City, who else is going to break them? You know, who else is going to break them? That's why I know that Arsenal always have that number, which is I'm also hoping, because Arsenal always have that number. No matter what Chelsea, I don't know if you've seen the past. No matter what Chelsea team comes in, Arsenal has that number somehow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a good race. I mean, it's all going to come down to just 21 games winning. I mean,
marginal, yeah, marginal, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, but Carl, since you said it's 21 games, sorry for cutting you there. Somebody might struggle. 21 games is a lot. There's all these struggles that are going to come. You know, somebody will struggle. One of us three will have a bad time. Just watch.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, by the time we get to the new year, I think you see. I think the table will reflect. We'll trying to get to 18 games. Was it with 19 games played? I think we're going to make a better judgment at that point in time because you're halfway through. And if
we're 3 points behind, isn't it? I'm surprised we're above Liverpool. I'm shocked by that one. I know it's because we're playing, but I always thought we'll be behind them until we catch up and go over. But I've seen now we're the ones who are jumping over Liverpool now.
So if you look at the data for the past couple of years, right? I mean, we've always, even in the 2018-2019 season when we went to 98 points, right? We're at 5-6 points behind Liverpool, I believe, at this time that year. That they were, you know, the only year where we actually blew everybody apart was when we were 13 points ahead in October. When in the Centurion season, we were 13 points after United game. We were 13 points ahead, which was done at that point in time. We're done at that point in time. So it's going to be interesting to see how pressure changes things when you have Christmas. You have to play every 3 games, and you're leading the pack. Well, you know, if you drop a point, if you lose one game, right, and you know right behind you is a team that has won the last 3 Premier Leagues, who have the capacity to win 21 games in a row, who have beaten you at home, who know how to win the Premier League. When it comes to other competitions, they may struggle. It becomes a pressure. Now you're forcing yourself. Now you're trying to win.
I also like to add is that I feel like the team that's going to have a lot to lose is Liverpool. They're going to miss, I think, who is it? Mane.
January.
Yeah, especially when it comes to what was it, African Cup of Nations. That's what people are forgetting. And I think we're only going to miss Riyad Mahrez, and Riyad Mahrez is not our main player, but Liverpool are going to miss 2 of their main players.
Let's not forget Mendy, Adam. Mendy, Chelsea. Mendy is going. He's going to Africa.
Yeah, but Chelsea are gonna have, say, their best apart from Mendy, but their best majority of their lineup. I'll say Chelsea won't be.
How many goals has Mendy saved this year?
I'm not sure, but I say Liverpool will be the one that struggles out of more than Chelsea would.
That's why Klopp said he doesn't like international breaks because he knows he's losing Mane and Salah and Keita.
You know why I say that is because the way Chelsea play, the goalkeeper majority of the time doesn't have that much to do. He does. He
has a lot to do.
He has a lot. He has a lot to do. 90% of the times is the defenders, the bloody however Chelsea line up. It's them that bloody do the dirty work, you know, before it gets to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, so definitely, I think that's absolutely a good point too. It's going to be very interesting to see, but it's clearly a 3-horse race. We're right in the middle of it, 3 points behind, but right where we want to be, right on the coattails, right there. If they slip up one moment, one slip, you know, that's pressure.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying in the group where I feel like Chelsea will slip up. It's possibly the Man United game. That's where, for some reason, For some reason,
That's
something
why
tells
I'm
me.
happy that he's gone. He's gone
Yeah.
at a point like this, just this perfect moment where these players have, because they were claiming that it's Oli, right, Adam? They were claiming it's Oli, that they were hiding behind him. Now they'll work hard because they want to show that, oh, it was Oli, you know? They want to show that it was Oli. So
When
when
when Pogba got a red card, you could clearly see the man bloody smiling. It's like he didn't really give a crap about getting a red card. The guy
so
came.
are we heading over to UCL then? Since we've been there United, then I think
So Villarreal, what do you think that score is going to be tomorrow for United versus Villarreal? What do you think?
I'm gonna possibly go for 2-1 United.
Yeah,
Same.
That's what I feel like.
I mean, I want them to win tomorrow so they can have some momentum. The next,
This guy I see what you're doing.
I hold no prisoners, man. The next game is Barcelona Benfica. This is another tricky one because whoever wins this game tomorrow is going to finish second in the group.
I'm just watching the Barcelona game mainly for Darwin Nunez because I've personally seen him how he plays, so I would like to gauge how he plays.
He's a good player, but the problem
that's the only reason why I'm watching the game.
Whoever wins this game, Patrick and Adam, is going to qualify immediately for the second round. So if Benfica win, Benfica are going to be at 7 points. Barcelona 6 points. Yeah.
Who's second in their group then? Is it them or Barcelona?
Bayern's on top, and then Barcelona's last game is against Bayern Munich.
So that's the Barcelona game against Bayern Munich is going to be difficult.
So Barcelona have to win that game tomorrow. It's not even a draw.
There's no option.
They have to win that game tomorrow because the next game is against Bayern Munich. So if they draw that game tomorrow and it's 7 points and 5 points, and the last day they go play Bayern Munich away, so that's another big game to watch. Yeah. Next game is Chelsea versus Juventus. It's another interesting group. Juventus are on top, 3 points ahead of Chelsea.
Wait, have Chelsea and Juventus played yet?
Yeah. Juventus beat Chelsea 1-0 last time. You don't remember?
Oh, I forgot. I don't give much attention to that group, to be honest.
So it's another big game because it changes the mathematics behind it is, who comes first, second, and then the next round, who do you get to play? If you come second, you have the potential of playing either RB like Salzburg or playing Bayern Munich or playing, somebody else in another group.
Wouldn't you like Juventus in the next group? The next stage?
No, I'll give me Lokomotiv Moscow or someone else. I'm not, or Villarreal, or give me Sporting Lisbon or something. I don't believe in all this. Can't play a hard team because you want to prove something. No, man. Then we'll talk about Ajax. We want to watch that too because Ajax, Ten Hag football is always very good. And then of course, naturally, City versus PSG. What do you guys think about our game against PSG tomorrow?
For me,
is it not on Wednesday? The game, the PSG game's on Wednesday.
Wednesday at night.
You know what? To be honest with you, with the players that we're missing, I possibly feel like it could probably end up being a draw for some reason, or possibly we could end up stealing possibly a late winner. And so if it's a late winner, I'll go for possibly say a 2-1 or a 3-1. But most likely it'll probably end up being a draw.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I mean, we don't have too much time left. I mean, it's way past. We'll just talk about two players: Frankie De Jong, Adam, and Patrick. Thoughts on Frankie De Jong and Vlahovic?
I'm saying your favorite player.
I love the guy, man. I really like him, man. He reminds me of. He's so good.
How easy defensively?
He's not a defender. But he plays like Busquets or Rodri, right? So when you think about Fernandinho leaving, we need cover in that position. Right now, we don't have cover. That boy, the kid from the academy, is not ready for that role, right?
Yeah.
Frankie De Jong can play that kind of system. He knows how to play that. He also can play a libero, so he can drop into the back four, become the central defender, right? Who plays out from the back. So you know how Pep was trying to convert Stones to become the number 6 at one point in time, playing him up front, and Stones kind of struggled. Frankie de Jong is able to do that very easily. He's very progressive with the ball. He's good in tight spaces. He creates chances. Watch his games for Ajax, even for Barcelona. He's really good at doing that, which is why I just think he's the perfect Guardiola player. And when Fernandinho leaves, we need a replacement.
I wouldn't mind having him. I wouldn't mind him walk, but that amount of money he's on at Barcelona, is that what he's going to be coming to us for this side?
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Crazy money. He's all crazy money. Him and the elite Juventus, they asked for a lot of money, you know. I think that's why United was unable to get the lead, and the City. We know that City were close. I think a lot of journalists say that City were close to De Jong, and then Barcelona came calling with a bigger wage and opportunity to play with Messi, as they used to use Messi to call most of these players. Now they don't have him. I don't know who they're going to be using. So look, for me, I would love to have him. If we pull this off, there's a lot of, there's no smoke without fire. There's a lot of smoke. Everywhere you go, it's De Jong. Even those automatic things on your phone that just give you news updates. De Jong, De Jong. So there must be words out there. It's either because I thought there was rumor. Do you know what I was thinking also, Carl? I thought that it's because his contract is about to finish. No, he's in contract. It's intact. So
how long do you have left?
Sorry?
I think the issue is that they're trying to offload players to get their wages down.
Oh, yeah,
so they can bring other players. And so he's probably the one that is see that, okay, we have Gavi, we have Pedri, we have all these young boys who are there.
They're all paid right now. Yeah. What are you saying, Adam?
No, I was saying he's the best sellable asset that they can get money for. Because
wow, your mic is bad there.
Yeah, Adam, your mic is bad. So, and then shout out to Sergio Aguero. We heard that he was going to be leaving, retiring from active football because of his heart problem. It's sad to hear. Such a legend.
It is very sad, yeah.
And I mean, his dream was to play for Barcelona and play with Messi, and it never really happened, which is very, very, very sad. So wish him all the best. But any other person you want to talk about? Let's watch Darwin Nunez tomorrow. Let's see what he does tomorrow. I'm interested to see how he does.
That kid though, I know Nunez is interest to you, but that kid from Florentino, whatever his name is, Vlahovic. That one you have to. Even Fabrizio said the thing about him is why people are looking at him, right? Apparently there's leadership for a kid his age. Apparently there's leadership. They never give up attitude, and he's very serious with his football.
You know what with him is? He's a bit like Edin Dzeko. He's a bit, when you watch him play, he's a bit like Edin Dzeko, but blessed with more pace than Edin Dzeko.
He is. It's amazing. Like the list Fabrizio wrote on his thing. I was like, this is amazing. I was like, this is an amazing player, and I was like, somehow we must be blind. We mustn't be blind. Look, I know we want Haaland, but this kid is serious, and the goals are not useless goals. It's proper.
I'll be happy if say we did not get Haaland. I'll be satisfied with Vlahovic.
I think we just get both. Just get both. Just get them both.
Yeah, but that ourselves, our team with
because if Raheem Sterling has 18 months left in his contract, he hasn't signed his contract, he's probably going to end up leaving, right? He's probably going to end up leaving, right? I mean, if you don't sign a contract within a certain amount of time, they have to sell you within 1 year. We have the wages there for him. We have the wages for Aguero still there. Don't forget, the wages for Aguero is still there.
Yeah. That's with some
Silva's money was not fully given away because Foden came through and Foden gets less than that.
Exactly. Leroy Sané's wages is still there, right?
Yes. And you know what people forget about Leroy Sané's money? Leroy Sané's money, even though he left, I think 2 years before, his money, his whatever fee that Bayern Munich paid was not in the book of the previous season. It was the season after it.
Correct.
And what people forget is, listen, if Raheem Sterling's on say 300,000, and that's roughly around 18 million a season, and he's worth Raheem Sterling's roughly worth 50 million or something. You amortize that deal over the duration of his contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think we used to have 4 strikers, man. We had Tevez, Aguero, Dzeko, Balotelli back in the day at one point. That's 4.
Jovetic was there.
Jovetic, right? So you had literally 4 or 5 at some point in time. Now we're down to none. I mean, it's just get the two. So anyway, well, that's been a great time, guys. We're talking to you guys, Patrick. Again, this is Restream. I still have to figure out all the mechanics.
Yeah, I know. It takes time, doesn't it?
Figure it out. Hopefully, before next year, I'll be able to sort everything out and get everything sorted out. But Adam, thanks for joining me. I thought this was a good discussion. And any final thoughts from you?
Adam? Wait, is Adam gone?
I think he's
Still here.
Patrick, go ahead. Adam, go you. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Patrick,
I'm good.
Any thoughts from you? You looking forward to the game on Sunday? On Wednesday?
Yeah, I want us to win because I have a few PSG people who are on Twitter, who I'm in Twitter groups. So they keep after that win, they keep hyping themselves. Yesterday, I had to screenshot the head-to-head and say, "Do you know that you've only won once against City? Like you've only won once." So I want to make sure that I think we mustn't take it lightly. I think we should make sure that we shouldn't put on and make sure we beat them. I think we have to beat PSG to show them that, look, you're not a better team than City. That's all I can say. So come on, City.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just want to stop our group. Let PSG go play Bayern Munich in the next round. Let it be somebody else's problem. Everyone up till then, thank you, Charlie, for joining. Thank you for coming on. And others who were watching online with us, really appreciate you guys coming on. And then until next time, stay safe, stay cool, and God bless. Thank you.